So I never thought I would ever do this, guys, but I'm doing a anime video of a specific anime that that for people that don't know me personally, I was never a big fan of this anime. I actually disliked this anime a long time ago, or like a long time ago. Like, my friend is also a huge anime fan, right? So of course I'm an OG. I'm kind of like an OG anime watcher. Like, I've been watching anime since it became mainstream, before like lockdown, right? So I've been watching anime for a long time, guys. So I'll tell you a bit about my anime experience, right? How I started getting into anime. So I would say I was just about like my last years of secondary or high school, if you're fair, right? And I really was never an anime lover, like an anime watcher, and the only anime at that time, or previously, that I've watched before that period of time was like Pokemon, which I didn't even know for the longest time that it was even an anime in the first place. So it was the dub was that shit. I thought it was like an American cartoon. And Dragon Ball Z, of course. I feel like Dragon Ball Z is like literally the start of anime. That's like for our generation anyway. Anyone that grew up in the 2000s, because yeah, I am a 2000s guy, that Dragon Ball Z was the anime that everyone got into, that was cool, that everyone could, like, you know, everyone could fuck with, like, Dragon Ball Z. Once you watch Dragon Ball Z, it was like, oh yeah, it was like, you're cool. You could, like, it's a cool series to watch. Like, anything else wasn't really deemed as really cool to watch. So, but yeah, my friend was like a huge anime fan, and he's the one that got me into watching like shonen and seinen and all these different type of anime, right? Like, you know, and he recommended me to watch JOJO'S are. And I saw one episode of JOJO'S, like during maybe 3 years ago, or maybe like 5 years ago. He showed me one. I watched it. I hated it. I was like, this episode sucked. It was rubbish. The animation was weird. Like, the character designs were off. I just really did not like JOJO'S. I thought it was really like bizarre, like the title intends. But then he finally convinced me to watch it, and one reason he convinced me, one of the major reasons why he convinced me to watch it, right, is he and another friend of mine, we were watching part 3, right? We were watching one episode of part 3. Once I saw that episode, I was like, you know what? Cool. I saw JoJo for the first time. Oh, cool. This guy is sick. I was like, cool. You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So I started from last year, guys. Yeah, I started from part 1, and I watched it. I got hooked in, and I just binge watched from part 1 all the way to part 3. And anyone that is in the anime community, you know, that watches anime, you guys know that one of the most anticipated JoJo parts has come out just recently, a few days ago for me. So JoJo's Part 7, Steel Ball Run, which I'm so hyped for. I can't lie, I'm so hyped for Part 7. I've actually read the manga, guys. I love JoJo. I'm so into JoJo's now that I started reading the manga. I've read Steel Ball Run, I've read the Jolien, and both are amazing pieces of work, like masterpieces of art. It's just they're just like really good. But today is not about the manga of the series, but we are here today to do a tier list of every part of the anime, JoJo's part of the anime so far, guys. So I'm kind of doing this like off the top of my head from what I remember watching it, because I did watch the series recently, but also got a few notes down of what I think. But yeah, guys, I'm actually surprisingly really excited to do this. Like, I never thought, like, if asked if like you asked my friend 5 years ago, like if I asked him like, oh, ever officially doing tier list ranking video of like JoJo's each of the parts, he would laugh. Like, it is crazy how things come around. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. I'm very excited to get down into this ranking. So I'll explain the tiers that we got, and then we're gonna rank each part and get right into it. So first tier list, of course, we got peak. So this tier list is for like literally self-explanatory. For peak, like peak masterpiece of like the anime season. Like it's best of the best. It's like it's just everything was like perfect, on point. Character development, characters, the plot, the main plot, the side characters, the villains, like everything was good. The pacing, the like everything was just the music, everything was great. That's what peak is. It's just 10 out of 10 for me. Like it's just hardly like no flaws or hardly any flaws. So yeah, that is what peak is, of course. And then you got amazing. Amazing is like, oh, amazing. It was great, amazing season of that anime. And then you got great, of course, great season of anime. Then you got solid. It was pretty solid. It was good watch, but it had a few inconsistencies, or it wasn't as good in some parts of the series, or like, you know, it has some flaws. And that's not solid. Solid is, it was decent, but you know, could have been better. And then of course we got bad, because I don't think any really part of JoJo's is trash, so I didn't want to put trash there, so I just put bad, because there is a part of JoJo's which I don't know if like everyone agrees with. I think it's bad. I think it's a bad part. And yeah, but yeah, let's get into ranking it. First, we're starting off with part 1. So with part 1, I'm gonna put it in solid. I think it's a solid introduction into the anime. Like it starts off. There's really one thing that I have to say about it is it's very short. Now that's one thing that really lacks with part 1. Part 1 is a very short season of JoJo. It's only like 9 episodes, and then like yeah, it just ends really fast. So yeah, only 9 episodes, but it's it's a strong introduction to like, you know, into the story of like, you know, Joestar family, how the British, the whole like, you know, introduction to also like what's it, Brando. I forgot. You know, I can't lie. I haven't watched part 1 in a while, so I actually forgot his father's name, Dio Brando's father. But yeah, Dio Brando was iconic, like straight from like, you could just tell they were cooking with Dio Brando. Like there was something about him. Just as soon as he stepped on, and then he just was always so hateful towards like Jonathan, and he was always like, just killed his dog, he kissed like his girl, like it was crazy, and he just wanted to do, like, he always wanted to be superior to everyone, especially to Jonathan. Like he really wanted to prove the point that he was so much better than Jonathan, because maybe Jonathan was privileged, and he hates anyone that was really privileged and had sort of experience per se in their life. And it was just a great demonstration of like someone that really didn't have a great background, but was able to somehow get to the top, and just had, you know, he was smart, cunning, like even that boxing scene, right, with Jonathan, where he does like a day move and he hits him in the eye, elbows him in the eye or something. Yeah, it just represents like those two different like character tropes in Jonathan and Dio so well. So that's the good. Those are the things I really liked about part 1, right? Jonathan was great, but he didn't really have, one thing I'll say about Jonathan, you don't really see too much personality from Jonathan, right? He's not, compared to especially other Joestars that we will talk about later on. And then yeah, Dio was great from the beginning. Like it was crazy how Destiny was just like, was kind of like, it was just destined for him to be like Dio Brando, the vampire, right? And like he almost died, like finding out the secret of the mask, but he survived fate to sunlight. So fate was just on his side, and then like Jonathan's father died in the end. The house burned down, like Dio went crazy. He just killed bare like all these officers. I love like Speedwagon just seeing him for the first time, and like it's just really heavy initially that oh yeah, Dio was just born, like he was just the living embodiment of so yeah, and he done a lot of like his ambition and his drive to just become more superior and put everyone down. Like he really wants to put people down in their place and just make them subservient, right? Like it just proves how messed up and evil Dio is, but it's what makes it so interesting. And then this is the first introduction to hormones as well, with that power system. I actually really like hormone as a power system, right? The power system, like level, but like yeah, so and then we got introduced to Zeppeli, of course, guys. Like Zeppeli, the first Joe bro. Zeppeli adds people, but yeah, Zeppeli was the one that taught Jonathan that hormone, how to use it, how to enhance it, how to use it against the vampires. And yeah, it really just put like how much of a threat Dio was, because you have the other vampires, but Dio's just so much more like of a threat compared to them. So yeah, the only thing that is just a shame is that you don't have enough time with like Dio and Jonathan in this part, right? It's very short, like I said before. And also the end was crazy. The last episode was crazy, where like Dio is still alive and his head, he only has his head, and he manages. Jonathan saves Arena, right? His wife, and he gets beheaded. I mean, not beheaded, but his body gets taken. He gets killed. Like Dio takes him out, but Dio respected him, and it just showed how like he realized how much of a foe like Jonathan was. So Dio just like, yeah, you know what? If I can't beat them, I'll join them, and he just took over Jonathan's body. So yeah, that is just the whole kind of like premise and just overall what happened in part one. Yeah, I'll give part one solid just because it just was so short and it was so lackluster, so little screen time for the character. So, yeah, that for me is what happened in part one. But next part we got is part two, and oh my gosh, this is going straight to the top tier. My favorite part throughout the whole anime. Like, oh my gosh, part two was so sick. Oh my day. Like, part two is absolutely, it's amazing. It's so amazing. Like, oh my day. Joseph, my nigga, man. My dog. Like, that is my dog, man. Like, Joseph is like one of my favorite. He's my favorite protagonist. About all the like, he's entertaining, he's smart, he's funny. Like, he plays mind games with his like balls. Like, oh man, his tricks, his fighting style is so creative. And this is like, for me, one of the best examples of like character development throughout any of the JoJo parts, right? That he goes from, yeah, he's talented hormone user, and like he's talented hormone user, but he's very like unrefined and not really like polished yet as a hormone user. But then later on, like through that training arc and him with Lisa, then Caesar Zeppeli, oh my god, Caesar Zeppeli. What a guy! What a JoJo! Like one of the best JoJos, 100%. One of the best. Like what? Like no, Caesar! Like what happened to him? Oh my gosh! But yeah, like the back to, I'll get back on track here. With Joseph, yeah, like his development from being like a talented hormone user to being refined to being like one of the best hormone users in the world, like one of the best, like able to be up with the Pillarmen in like to be able to be a threat to the Pillarmen and like really throw hands with them. It's just amazing, and you don't really see this because like unfortunately this is the last part, even though yes I understand why they changed it. It needed something like kind of new, interesting, a different take on like the power system. That was a great power system replacement, right? But Hamon was it was like the last time we really had a great power scaling system where it was consistent and you could see a bit, like you see the gradual development and growth of a character's power. With the other parts, they all go back, they go to stand. From after part 2, it all goes to stand power scaling. So yeah, unfortunately this is the last time we see Hamon, but yeah, it was so good, man. Part 2 was so good. Like Joseph, the Pillarmen were so interesting, especially Wamu. I respect him. I hate him for what he did to Caesar because he killed Caesar when Caesar was cooking him, man. Caesar was throwing hands. He was boxing with him. Like he almost had him, and then just that one. That's how like the stakes are so high in this part. Like one mistake Caesar made and it ended his whole career. Like he just died. He just killed him. Like with that move. I forgot what the move is called, but that crazy move he did, and he just killed him. And it's just shame. And there's like, Caesar was so cool, man. So cool. Lisa was very she was a good teacher, mentor. You could tell that she had experience and stuff, but it was very like, it was also funny, like the kind of like the little like fan service stuff in part 2 with which was funny, but it's just it's so crazy that Lisa turned out to be Joseph's like mom. Like, oh my gosh, that was just crazy. And he was peeping on it. And Susie Q was funny. Like her chemistry with Joseph was funny, and then ended up being married. The end fight with Cars was crazy. Oh my day. Like Cars became the ultimate life form. He literally achieved what he set out to be. Like but yeah, Cars, one thing I want to say, guys, I don't really like Cars. Cars really annoyed me. He had no honor, man. No honor, no respect, no values, man. Like what he did to Lisa was dirty. Like every fight he was in, he just tried to like, yeah, he just annoyed me. Really annoyed me. But yes, he was a very intimidating like friend and villain, definitely. And it just made the stakes that much higher. Like this guy literally wiped out his whole brain. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, guys, like we're good. Part 2 was absolutely. Yeah, like that fight with Cars was crazy. He literally achieved like the ultimate life form. He could transform into anything, like any life form on Earth he could transform into. And somehow Joseph, with his battle IQ, with his tactical genius, somehow found a way to beat that nigga, and he sent him to space. He lost the arm. That's a real dog. Joseph. Joestar, you should have a round of applause for anyone that watches this part at the end of the part. Like, oh my gosh. And another thing that's so great about this part as well, compared to part 1, of course, so much more content, so much more episodes, and yes, it's just amazing. Like from the protagonist to the villains, especially Wamu, like Esther Death, I guess was cool as well. Like Cars was like, of course, he was a threat, and then like just the side characters were great, especially Caesar. Like Caesar was a real dog, man. And I love the power scaling of Hamon as well, the character development, the training arcs, like the Joestar and Caesar's like development in their power and skill of Hamon, just refining their talent. It was just amazing, man. And finding out the backstory to Caesar and what happened to his dad was just tragic. And yeah, this part was amazing. Just like must, absolutely must. I can't say any more on how great, and put it into words, how great and amazing and how just sensational this part was. But yeah, on to the next part is part 3. And part 3, I'm gonna put in. Ooh, it's hard. Yeah, I'm gonna put in amazing. I can't lie. I'm gonna put in amazing. I will. Because, yeah, part 3 is good. Very good. And this is the first time we got introduced to stands. So this is the early days of stands. And, you know, the stands here were quite... You know, the stands were very cool. I can't lie. The stands were very cool. Jotaro Kuja, oh my days. That's another, like, real dog. Like, this guy did not take shit from nobody. Like, what happened? Like, every villain he came across was just like, it was so entertaining watching him. Like, the more angry he gets, the more, like, he becomes better in the fight. It's crazy. Even though, yes, he had an OP stand. This is one where, like, if you had, like, with stands, right, you can just have a really crazy ability with the stand. And then there's not really any kind of, like, growth. Like, you could just be, if you know how to really use, if you're given like a really OP stand or powerful stand, like, you could just really almost take out almost anyone. Like, you could really, like, just, I mean, you could take on anyone, like, fight anyone. Like, that's what I felt like with like stands being introduced. But of course, like, yeah, Jotaro was more than that. Like, he had personality, he had charisma, he was a genius when it comes to, like, fighting. Like, he was amazing, man. And then, yeah, we got to see my dog Joseph as well, the whole crew as well. This is like one of my favorite crews, man. Polnareff, like Avdo, and then you got Kakuin, and then you had Joseph, like, and then Iggy, like, oh my days, real dogs, man, real dogs that were just on this journey from Japan all the way through like Asia, like they went through Pakistan to eat all the way to Cairo to find Dio. And Dio, oh my gosh, this is my favorite version of Dio. Like, his design in this before the transformation, when he took the Joestar blood, is one of the best, I swear down, one of the best animated villain designs I've ever seen. He looked so sick, so intimidating with the gold as well. It just, and with him being in Cairo as well, in Egypt, it just made sense. Like, he kind of had that, I don't know, that Sparrow kind of swagger, like, but he was like evil, menacing. Really, this is the most menacing, most like just intimidating, scary version of Dio. Like, what he did to Polnareff, like, he traumatized him a bit. Like, in that part, he was like, he's just walking up the stairs, and then that nigga he just doesn't move. He's like, what happened there? And then when they got up to there, my man opened the coffin. That little vampire thing, he was terrible. That's one character, that vampire that literally all his stand is that his face, the back of his face is like a girl. And it's so funny, JoJo just punched the shit out of it. But he just opens the coffin, and then he ends up in there, that flipping his face ripped in half. I'm like, what? And then, bro, all the way, I've never seen, like, Joseph is really, like, fearless, right? Joseph, like, and he's older as well. This is like not prime Joseph anymore. He's not been training as much with Hormone. And his stand, oh, they really nerfed my boy, man. They nerfed my boy Joseph. They do use TOP in, like, if he got, like, he'll be TOP if he got a 6 stat, like a powerful ass stat. So he had Purple Hermit, which is just basically, he's able to, like, find anything if he has a camera and he destroys it. Something like that. I think that's like pretty much the premise of how Purple Hermit works. If I'm wrong, put it down in the comments, because I don't really remember how Purple Hermit worked. But, you know, like, literally, like, Joseph, like, he was so scared. He said, oh, yeah, Polnareff, that he's like, I love him, but sometimes he does some stupid shit. And, like, he was like, nah, nigga, like, he didn't want to run from the fade, bro. Like, I kind of have to respect, but he was, like, he would have died. He would have definitely died. They all could have died in that instant. Joseph was like, nah, nigga, we gotta get out of here. And then bang, they just jumped out the window. It was crazy. I never seen Joseph so scared in my life. And like Kakyoin was like kind of like he in the beginning he was a villain, like, and then he became like, you know, it turned out he was being mind controlled by Dio, and then yeah, Dio there was Filter them saved him, and then yeah, like it just crazy. It was just crazy. That just from start to finish, it was just a lot of crazy moments that happened. One thing I will say that I kind of have a bit of like a criticism about part 3. I can't like it kind of drags on a bit. Like, I feel like because it's the longest out of all the animes as well for like all the parts of JoJo's, right? That it has the most episodes. You have like part 1 and then you have part 2, which is yeah. I feel like sometimes it dragged on for a bit too long, the anime, right? The episode, but you know that's it still was so many good moments. The villains, like every time they had to, like they'll fight and boxing someone, almost it felt like every episode, every time they came up against someone. And then when they got to Karo, they had the Egyptian god what's it, the tarot cards. Like the tarot cards aspect was interesting, how they used the tarot cards, what they represent to be like the Stan users and such and such. And yeah, it was really good, man. Dio, like it felt like Dio was like on the ascension. Like once he got Joseph's blood, right, and he became like, he said this is the best sensation I've felt in my whole life. And this guy's been alive for over like 100 years or something. It's crazy. And it just like, but JoJo's that just to find a way to just beat him. Like he just, the more angry he gets, the more just, and then it turns out they had the same type of stand as well. And oh my days, Dio stand sound effect is amazing. With the world, like when he does that, and it just does the like with the clock, like with the kind of clock of time stopping sound effect it is absolutely peak, bro. Peak. That stuff is peak. Now, that is one of my favorite fights. Dio versus Jotaro in the final like couple episodes is like one of my favorite parts of JoJo ever. It's just peak. So definitely I have to put it in amazing. There's some like criticisms I have with part 3, like, you know, of course, like it don't really feel like there's too much that power development, of course, because it's like their stands were just pretty much really just powerful, like really powerful stands. And then it like sometimes I feel like they were just fighting too many times. Like they didn't really have a time to, even they went on a plane and then the flipping stand users on the plane. I'm like, what? Like it's just crazy every time they were facing someone. And also another thing, like Dio literally knows about the Joestars. Like he knows about how tricky they are and how hard they are to take out. Like you would think a guy that's so smart and has lived for so many years would just, instead of sending his cronies to go take them out, the old lady that gave him the stand arrows as well, that you know gave him his stand abilities, these other villain stand abilities. She's convincing him like, oh, just send your cronies, they'll take care of them. He should know. He should just go and take them out himself. He knows. And with that stand ability as well, with what Kakyoin did, yeah, oh my days, Kakyoin's a real dog as well. Like Kakyoin, like risking his life and just using the last bit of life energy he had to tell Joseph like what his stand ability. If they did not know what his stand ability, they would all be dead. That ability is broken. To be able to stop that time for like 5 seconds or like it went up to like 9-11 seconds is crazy. Like he could stop time like that and no one can move, only him. It's crazy. So like that's what I'm saying. If he just went up to take them, he probably would have won. Dio is, that's one flaw about Dio. He's too arrogant and too cocky and he's too egotistical. He thinks he's so much better, he doesn't really have to get involved until they become a threat, and then he'll take care of it. But he's always pushing his abilities to the limit instead of just taking them out, and then it just ends up in him failing. And it's just so interesting. It's really interesting. because he probably would win a lot of the time if he just didn't get in his own head like he was just so much better, and it's just unconceivable for them to beat him. Basically, it's just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy with Dio. Like, he's so interested and he's so fascinating, and he's just like, even though how messed up of a guy he is, how much messed up he is as just a villain, but he is like really interesting, and he does have a interesting view of like the world. Of course, like he thinks that everyone should be subservient to him. He should be the ruler of the world and all that. And it's great. It's great. It's really great. I just like that's like my kind of criticism. Like, he could have just gone and taken them out himself, but of course, I guess it is true to his character, true to Dio's character. And also, yeah, it drags on a bit, and then like they almost find like someone new every time, and it's just like sometimes it gets a bit repetitive, but you know, it's still very, very good. So it's not too much of a complaint. But yeah, that is what I'm gonna. That's what I think. My thoughts on part 3, and the next part that is up is part 4, and I think part 4 is somewhere between. I mean, yeah, I'll say. Oh, is it better than part 3? That's why I struggle. Like, it's definitely amazing. I don't know if I like it more than part 3, because Jotaro was just I love Jotaro and Dio. It's because I put it just under part 3. I know my friend, like when he watches this, I know he's gonna rage. He loves it. His favorite part, part 4, right? But like part 4 is very good, but okay, my complaints and critiques about part 4, right, is there's some parts of, like episodes I'll be watching, right, that are just like, you know, I watch it and I'll be like, you know, it's watchable, but it's like, I watch it, I'll be like, I kind of want to get to the next episode, kind of like that kind of like feeling when I watch it. So when I watch that part, I'll be watching it, and like the right episode, like there's some filler parts like that are just like, they're just mid. They're not really great. They're just like, do we really need to watch this or have this? But like, yeah, there's some episodes where I just like, the alien one as well was really weird. Like, I don't really understand that character. He's like the most really kind of pointless character that was introduced in the whole series. But like they never really confirmed if he was an alien or if he was a stand user. But the episode where like Jotaro and him and he goes to Roshan's house to take him out. Not to take him out. Sorry guys, not to take him out. He goes to basically take money from him, and they gamble. And he's like, Roshan is a smart guy. He knows why. Like Jotaro's cheating. He just can't figure it out. And then the house goes on fire, and it just basically saves them from him finding out. And like those type of episodes, just like okay, but like that's my criticism. But now let's go into the positive. First thing, I love the setting of this part. Like, is in a small town in Morio. All these stand users are like getting like introduced. Like the villain, like the first villain was really like cool, man. Like he had a water stand and he was a serial killer as well. And then what Jotaro did to him was like crazy. He just put him in a rock and he's just there for like the rest of his days. And then like, you know, Josuke was really cool. I can't, like, he's one of the best Joestars, definitely. He was very cool. Like, he was just so strong and he's so cool, man. He's probably like one of the most relatable of all of them. Like, he's just a high school kid, but he kind of live his life. But he's also like, he kind of uses his stands for like things where you're like, yeah, you know, if you had a stand, you kind of use it for those things as well. If I felt, and his stand ability is really sick as well. Like, he can literally heal anyone, and he can recreate anything. Like, anything that gets destroyed or anyone that gets hurt, he can basically heal except himself, which is just sick. And how he uses it as well is so smart. Like, that's what I mean. Like, he's the most kind of creative and like ingenuitive with his stand ability, right? That's why I really like Josuke, of course. And with like he uses a stand for stuff where I feel like if you give it to a regular person will like, oh yeah, what would you do with a stand? He uses it for gambling, he uses it like to get rich schemes, like he does it for like, you know, just regular like petty kind of like selfish things, right? Which is funny. But yeah, of course, you know, one of the best villains as well in this part, like Kira. What a like it's just like it's literally just like a. I said it. This is how I described Kira to my friend, right? I said Kira, he reminds me of a Dexter villain, but with a stab. He's literally a Dexter villain in the JoJo'S series. He's a serial killer that has this weird fetish with like with his victims' hands, and then he like eats them. It's really weird. He is a really sickening villain, but like a weird one as well. But he's so effective and efficient. Like he has not been caught for years, and it's literally because of one mistake he made is the reason why Yosuke and the gang even got close to finding out, like getting catching onto him and getting a lead on him, which is just, it shows how like how scary of thought that is. Like if that didn't happen, like how many years of Akira gone on just being undetected, just like killing people. And of course we got introduced to characters like Okiyoshi and Rohan and what's the small guy? What's the little guy? I forgot his name. Is it Kuyon? No. Oh, what's his name? He has a little friend. He has one of the style like Echo. That style was really cool and it evolved. That's one thing I like. His style was really sick. He's the first stand user that had a style that evolved and it got more stronger with each form. He had like 3 forms. That he was really sick. I don't know why. The life of me, I can't remember his name, but he was actually really cool. This character, and of course Jotaro got involved in this. I feel like Jotaro, even though I've seen loads of videos about this, but I still think, like, you know, some people say Jotaro wasn't nerfed and some people say he was. I think Jotaro was nerfed, man, because even though, yes, he wasn't practicing, this is probably Jotaro, okay, physically, as like through experience and years and like, you know, adventures he's been on and what he's been doing from, you know, part like 3 to now. Of course, yes, he's probably at his physical peak, but in terms of his stand use and abilities, I think this is probably his weakest like version of him. I feel like they nerfed him. Like he was only able to like do the time stop for like 3 seconds, when in the previous one he was able to do it for 5 seconds, and I was like, I felt like they did that just to not make him as such of a integral character as he was in part 3, which I kind of get. You know, Josuke is the main character, he's the protagonist, so it makes sense. Of course, the stand battles were really sick, creative, especially that battle that he had with the highway stand guy, and you know, it was really cool. Part 4, I really like it. I really like part 4. It had some cool elements in it, cool concepts. It was, you know, it was very interesting. The setting, of course, being in a small town, you know, red chili hot pepper. That villain was really interesting, and I was like, he in another, maybe in another part could be a very good main villain. But of course, Hero was the main villain, the outstanding. And I love how they really like took their time with revealing and like, you know, revealing and introducing Hero, Yoshikage Hero, in part 4 as the main villain. And what happened to, is it I don't know for the life of me why I keep on forgetting side characters' names, but what happened to the stand user that uses Harvest, right? What happened to him was so sad, and it's because like he's literally in a public environment and there's these girls, but it's realistic. It's so realistic. That's another thing that I kind of love about it. It's kind of realistic, like kind of relatable, this part to like kind of real life, how like I feel like people actually react to these kind of things in real life. Like he's literally bleeding, and these girls are like, ew, what's going on? What are you doing? Get away from me! Like, what a freak! And it's just like it's so a shame. Like, if they just no one wanted to help him, like just because he looked like ugly to them and he bleeding and stuff, and like it's just pretty. It's just like, oh yeah, if you had pretty privilege, people would help him, and because of that, he died. And he was so close to warning Josuke and Okuyasu and the little mini friend of Josuke, right, about like Kira being the stand user, the killer. His stand, by the way, is one of the sickest stands designs as well. Killer Queen, oh my gosh, is one of the sickest stands ever. And the fact it had actually multiple abilities. It had what's the target one? The heat, where it targets heat. I forgot what that one's called. Sheer heart attack. Oh yeah, it's called sheer heart attack. And it had bites, dust as well as final form. Like, wow, that was amazing. That was really good. So definitely, I say part 3 is definitely amazing. I don't know if it's as good as part 3. I mean, yeah, part 4 is definitely amazing, but I don't think it's good as part 3 because of, I think just because of like some of the episodes in part 4 felt kind of like slow and filler and like just, yeah, that's why. But apart from that, I'd say it's very good. But yeah, that's my thought. Part 4 is where I think. Next part 5. And for me, guys, I think I put it here. I know a lot. This is the most popular part out of all of them. This is part 5 is the most popular. It's the one that I have to give it to it. It has one of the best theme songs. Like, oh man, if it comes to the theme song, it's definitely the best. JOJO'S theme song is very good, very good. But one thing there's so many things I don't really like about this part, and it's just like it gives a lot of shine to the side characters. Like, the side characters felt better as characters than the main character, who was Jono. Jono was like, he felt like he wasn't really like, he felt like less expressive, like his personality wasn't as heavy as previous Joestar protagonists. I just felt like he didn't really have a personality. He was just kind of there, and yeah, like I guess there was cool elements, some cool concept being in Italy, like the mafia and these gangsters and stuff. Bucciarati was really sick. He was really sick. I didn't even watch this whole, like, I'll be honest with you guys, I never fully watched this whole part. I watched it in 3 episodes, and I fell off. I literally dropped that part, and I just put it past. Because I really did enjoy it. From the first 3 episodes, I could just tell this was really bad kind of thing. Of course, like, I watched a recap of it, and then I watched it the end with my friends. Yes, Diavolo, very sick villain. He one of the best villains. His style was very sick. Risotto. Is it Risotto's Nero? Right, he was a very sick villain as well. Such a shame. He had so much potential to be so like integral to this part, and he just met one of the most OP stand users with flipping Diavolo, and he just died. Like, it's such a shame. The whole thing with like Diavolo not wanting to be discovered by the gang was ridiculous. But yeah, like literally, like he just wanted to hide his identity at any cost. Like, he was so willing to hide his identity at any cost. He was willing to even kill his own daughter. Like, he basically put up the JOJO'S gang, or Bucciarati's gang, right, to find Triss, bring her to him, and then like it was just crazy. And then Bucciarati, as soon as he tried to, it just like they played the music in that episode, and it's just like, yeah, you just know that he was gonna die. Bucciarati died, but it's like he didn't die. It's really like, it's hard to explain if you haven't watched it, but yeah, it's just and then, you know, someone came back from Polnareff came back, and he had a fight with Diavolo, and like he got destroyed by Diavolo. Diavolo's stand ability, of course, was very sick. Like, his ability was that he could skip basically 10 seconds of that time, and just he could perceive like any action that's gonna happen, and he could just skip it. It was crazy. But Journal already, this is another thing with Journal, already had an OP kind of alpha stat, and then when it became Goldwind experience, Goldwind Requiem, it just went even like Gold Experience Requiem, I think it's called. It just even went even more, like, it just became so OP, just like damn. And then like the fate that Diavolo got dealt with was just so, like, it was so overkill. This guy has to relive dying over and over and over again. Like he just experienced every kind of death, and it is crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I have to give it. It does have some cool concepts and stuff in it, but I think it didn't really feel like it just didn't really feel, how can I put this? Like, it just didn't really feel like a kind of a Joestar kind of story, really. And like a journal it didn't really have the charisma, the personality like the other Joestars. It didn't really have a Joe bro per se. I mean, you guess you could say Hiroaki was, but and then I feel like the side characters are way more heavily focused, and you don't really get to really invest into, you know, Journal and him as a character and everything like that is concerned with. So that's why for me, I'll put it bad. I just think the animation style, for me, I know a lot of people love it, but for me, I was really big fan of it. When I saw Koichi, oh, it's Koichi. So that is the character, guys, I was trying to talk about in part 4, Koichi. Koichi, and I saw Jotaro, and they just look so off. They look so off compared to part 3 and part 4. That animation style just looked very weird. So I didn't like it. I'm not a big fan of that style. So yeah, that's why I put part 5 in there. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like very mad at that, because, you know, part 5 is a lot of people's favorites, but for me, it is not my favorite part, and I didn't really like it. So yeah. The next part is the final one, and not at the what's the saying? What's the saying? Like, final at least. Best for last. We'll say. We got part 6, and oh my days, part 6 is. Ooh, where should I put part 6? You know, I'm putting it in peak. Can't lie, guys. I'm putting part 6 in peak. It's amazing. Another part where, even though of course our stand users, but you know, it brought back, you know, the best villain, one of the best antagonists in like him getting involved, kind of like involved in the plot and the story, even though he was long dead, is Dio, because this was Dio's plan, Made in Heaven. That was Dio's plan, and then his legacy is kind of being passed on to Pucci. Pucci was a great villain. Like his stands from the beginning, well, the 3 stands this guy got were just so overpowered and so broken, is ridiculous. And then Jolene Future is the type of protagonist that I love. Like, from not really from any crazy kind of like background. Of course, she was Jotaro's daughter, but Jotaro was like keeping a distance from her. Like, he didn't want her to get involved in any of this like curse of the Joestars and stuff. And then she just got brought into this, and then she was just immediately she was really on it, and she was really ready to throw down. The way she didn't really have an OP stand. Like, Storm 3 was an OP stand, but that's poetic. Like, we'll talk about like why Storm 3 is poetic, right? But Storm 3 is not. But the way she used it, it was so strong. It was so sick, so creative. She was ever constantly evolving with her style of like a stand in part 6. It gets so like Pucci had Pale Snake, and had Sea Moon, and had Made in Heaven, and still she somehow would find a way to overcome that obstacle and survive and be in the fight. And that's what I love. And there was, of course, darker females in prison. I love the setting of it in the beginning, being in prison. And then also you get revealed later of like Theo's unwanted children with their stand abilities. Then how like destiny just brought them all together, Capucci. And then like the ending was just wow. The ending was beautiful, man. A beautiful, a perfect way to wrap up like the Joestar story and that universe story, like that timeline. It was just beautiful. Like of course the side characters were good, like were great. Like you know, the Foo Fighters, what's it, Hermes, like Emporio, like wow. I'd like JoJo came back. Oh, like JoJo just really is that JoJo star. He's just in like involved in most of the parts, but like yeah, JoJo, and then like oh my days, you think JoJo dies in like at the very early like the beginning of this part. In the beginning of this part, you think JoJo died. His stand got stolen and his memories got stolen like Fuji. It's crazy. And then he later on dies in the end. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like, I couldn't believe they killed off JoJo, but it's fine. They fixed it in the end. With Emporio of all people, you got Weather Report Stan, and he used it to flipping kill Pucci with an overload of oxygen, which is toxic to humans. So it's just that ending was crazy. Jolene was the one that actually gave Emporio the disc with Weather Report, because Weather Report died earlier. Pucci, of course, which is just such a shame. That is one of the sickest like stands ever, to be able to control the weather, and then also like his stand design is one of the sickest in the whole anime, like in the whole series. His stand design is really dope, and the fights were sick, and then the side characters were just amazing. The pacing, sometimes the pacing was kind of an issue, but I think it was quite good. You know, and Pucci was probably one of the most deep characters. Physiological characters as well. Like, he had like a great backstory to him, like how he ended up who he is, and why he ended up being like one of the carry on like Theo's legacy and his plan of Made in Heaven, and why he was his goal, like why he was going after these goals and stuff, of course. So yeah, that's one like thing about Pucci that I really like, his backstory, how it connected to like some of the characters that were in the prison, like Weather Report, and then that whole tragic backstory with Pucci's sister, and how he even came across Theo in the first place. And then yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Even the story, like even the flashbacks where like he talks about some of the stands, like what's the worst stand you ever come across, Theo, and then Theo talks about like Made in Heaven plan, all that stuff. It was amazing, man. You can, and like with the character development as well, from Jolene from the beginning as a young kind of naive, like gullible girl, and then to the character that is strong, reliable, you know, heart, like determined. What's it? Is it heart, like very heart heavy? Like, is that the word I'm looking for? But yeah, like she just became a really like very like responsible character. Like she became a real like inspiration and role model, and like, you know, a light for the team, like a real light, spark of light for the team, even in the darkest and most like just difficult like times and biggest obstacles they had. She was just always relentless, always willing to keep on going and going and going, and that is why she is one of my favorite, definitely one of the best Joestar protagonists. And what is so poetic about her stand ability, Stone Free, she is basically the one that she's the one that freed Joestars from that Joestar curse, and they reset the timeline. No more stands for them, like no more Dio. They don't like, oh yeah, It's just great. It's great. It's beautiful. Beautiful ending. The music is amazing as well. Theme music is great. Just everything about this part I really love. Like, I hardly have any really critiques about this part. So yeah, that's why I had to put it P. But yeah, that is pretty much all my thoughts on all of the JoJo parts. Put down in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree with what my thoughts on these parts? Where would you put these like JoJo parts? You know. Oh, actually, I just realized I didn't put any of them in the great tier. I probably should have put one in the great tier. You know what? I'm gonna put, even though, you know, actually no, I'll still keep it in amazing. I'll still keep it amazing. But, you know, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you know, put down in the comments what you think about my list. Do you agree or do you disagree? Where would you put like what in your list? Where would you put these, like, you know, parts? Where would you rank them? Like, subscribe, hype the video. Also, let me know what is your favorite JoJo part that you have watched, and what is also maybe your favorite JoJo manga, if you guys want to let me know, because I've read all of the mangas except for part 9. I've read a little bit of part 9, but not all of it. And oh yeah, let me know guys if you really enjoy this video. You want me to this is something I've not really done, I haven't done before on this channel, so you know, I'd really like to get your feedback if you guys want more of these type of videos. You want me to do more anime? You want me to, like, you know, do more videos about stuff that I'm really interested in, like you know, TV series or anime or cartoons or music? What do you guys want me to, you know, you guys want me to show more about myself, do some more videos about like the type of like the topics I'm interested in, or do you want to see more like, you know, gangster kind of videos or whatever you guys, do you want to see more JoJo videos? Let me know. And yeah, and that is everything, ladies and gentlemen, and I am out. Peace.